Cool. I think we're good. So let me get back to make sure that's off and get out of that and turn that off. Got like a million and one things going on at the same time, all on one page. This is nuts. Let's see if we got what we got here. Is it happening? Is it going on? Is it working? We shall see. All right, cool. Oh, nice. So there we are. All right, cool. So what's life? Awesome sauce. I'm going to go ahead and go back to here because I know I can pick up comments and questions from there. Cut that down. All right, y'all. So over the week, I've been talking about different things. Oh, hey, Tiffs. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you. Come back if you can. I got a lot of people that are going to be popping in and out during this time. This is not a webinar, at least it's not a formal one. This is me coming to you live, both on Facebook and on Instagram, because I want to share some information with you guys that I don't think anybody else is sharing right now. Everybody's teaching you how to grow your Instagram following. Everybody's teaching you how to grow your Facebook groups, how to monetize, blah, blah, blah. I've noticed that in a lot of those, there's a paid element in there. It's not always involved. There's a couple of people that don't use any paid advertising, and that's fine. But if you're a local business and you don't have the time to, even they're not a local business, I know the big boys use this all the time, but if you're a local business or a mid-sized business and you don't have the time or the resources to be able to have someone consistently building your organic reach on social media, you need a little help, and that usually means paid traffic. So there are quite a few guys out there that are, selling their playbooks, selling their strategies, teaching ad hacks and all the strategies on targeting and interests and demographics and psychographics, and that's all relevant. However, there's a lot more to it than that, and there's one element that's missing that would actually help drive down the cost of acquisition for customers or clients and raise a conversion rate. What's up? James Mill Pump Tenebra. Oh, that's cool. Dig your username, man. So I'm going to be digging into a few things, and it's going to look like every once in a while I'm going to be looking at notes. They're right there because I'm still digesting and learning and assimilating and like really I want to get to master this stuff. I want to master it because I want to share it with you. And the idea of what this information is how to be able to, everybody talks about meeting the buyer where they're at in the buyer's journey. I do have a PowerPoint on this, but not doing it today. Again, I'm going to turn that into an absolute webinar. Today, it's just for you guys, my followers, my fans, my friends, my colleagues, because I want you guys to have first crack at this. I don't know of very many people doing this at all. And the names that I have caught, they're not in the marketplace, really. They are specific to certain verticals, just like I am. I mean, I work in mortgage and real estate, and that's where I want to stay in my lane for now. When that builds out, I'm probably going to move over into financial services because I'm familiar with that industry. I'm already getting calls for other industries just explaining one tool that I have that changes the game as far as advertising is concerned online. And there's a couple of what I call only factors that make this one tool extremely valuable. Imagine being able to not just target an audience, but target an individual and really be able to talk to them. So I'll get more into that in a little bit. So one of the big things that we've talked about this past week are the 5 forces that shape competition. And these are forces that, everybody has to deal with, right? When you want to take a company from A to B, you have to have a specific strategy to get there. And strategy defined in business is a way to win, whatever that is legally. a way to win. You want to get from point A to point B. Point A may be your first sale. Point B may be 100,000 sales or 1,000 sales or 100 sales, whatever that may be, right? You have to have a specific strategy. You got to have a way to win. In this case, when you're talking about business, it's a way to win higher profits. And you have 5 forces that you're constantly working against. And you may think that the first one, which is your existing rivals, is your biggest competition. That's your biggest force. It's not. Everybody thinks, well, I got to beat my guy. I got to be better than them. I got to set myself apart from them. I got to do this better than them. Fine. Yes. That's not your biggest challenge. That's not the biggest force working against your profits. There's 2 others. And that's powerful buyers, powerful suppliers. When we're talking about ads, paid traffic, we're talking about Google, Yahoo, Bing, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. There's a whole bunch of them that have ads, YouTube. These all cost. Now, let's say you're doing well on Google. You're getting a great click-through rate. You're getting a decent cost per click. Your cost of acquisition is, fair to middling, I guess is the best way to describe it. And it's okay. It's doing all right, right? That doesn't necessarily mean it's doing great. And at the same time, if Google sits there and says, they're getting a lot of traffic, I think we need to up their rate. They can do that. Guys, they don't care about you. They don't care about your bid. They don't care about your being a customer of theirs. They care about the click. Same thing happens on Amazon. Same thing happens on Facebook. Same thing happens on Bing, Yahoo, YouTube. It's all about that click and how much they can get for it. So if they decide to up your rate, guess what? Your cost of acquisition just went up. And in some cases, it's exponential. I've seen some things happen on Google where people run out of budgets 2-3 weeks early, and they're like, what happened? They up their rates because your success was good. So they want to charge you for that success. And with you using their data, because you only get, if you're using a pixel from Google, guess what? You can only use it on Google. You can only get analytics on Google. You can't really do anything else. JB, what's up? Hey, man, we're just talking a little bit about paid traffic and how you guys can actually win. So if you want to hang up, feel free. Another one is alternatives, substitute products, things that may be just as good in a different way. Your widget is blue, theirs is green, it still works. There's an element of blue in it. Does that make sense? So the idea there is that there are people coming into the marketplace that have alternatives and they might be cheaper. Well, there's another force you got to work against. And how do you beat that? Banner ads versus text ads versus video ads versus, so on and so forth. And then you've got new entrants, of course. Anytime somebody new comes into the marketplace, there's another rival for you, right? Johnny, how you doing? Morning. Happy Saturday. Hang out if you want. I'm just giving out some information about paid traffic and how it works. And anybody that pops in on the page, glad to have you guys here. The 5 forces, those 5 forces, again, your rivals, your powerful buyers and suppliers, your alternative for substitute products, and your new entrants. Those are the things that stand between A and B. Those are the things that stand between you and your next level of profits. Because every time they come in, buyers looking for a deal, suppliers are looking to charge you more, alternative products may be not as expensive and still decently effective. Somebody's all of these things work against you to get your profitability higher. It just is. It is what it is. So to overcome that, you got to focus your resources, right? You got to really come in, especially small businesses. Y'all are limited on your resources. If you're out there spending, $100 to $200 in advertising a week, you'll get some traction. But then it goes back to an old quote that I know was spoken on a stage, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was talking to the marketing association, I believe the American Marketing Association, and His statement was, I spend $100,000 a month on advertising, and I know that 50% of that is completely wasted. I wish I knew which half. Basically, it's, hey, Oni, it's basically nobody really knows. You can't really tell. Back then, it was even worse because it was only billboards and television and radio. That's all there was. Now we have banner ads, we get text ads, video ads, traffic ads, this ad, that ad, and there's all kinds of ways you could run money into ad campaigns. But do you really know where your money's being well invested? You know, there's even guys that talk about how Facebook will go out and work for you on lookalike audiences, or they will maximize your budget. Yeah, they'll maximize your budget. They will, but they're still going to make their money. You still are not getting the full effect of what you should be getting out of your advertising dollar. And there's a reason for that. And when I explain what that reason is, you're going to sit down and really start thinking about, wow, how much have I been wasting? How much have I lost? How much did they chalk up to getting because they control the platform? They're the ones in charge, right? So your resources are supposed to be focused on prospects that are most likely to buy, right? But how do you do that? Because you got to get them in funnel. You got to get them inside first, right? So the first thing you do is you do traffic ads, you do engagement ads, you do lead generation ads, and you try to bring them in where you can start actually talking to them and qualifying them. That funnel portion is where you can do all your qualifying. But by that time, let's be honest, by that time, most people, hey, what's up, Exit Dude? Most people by that time have already been looking, have already been researching, have already figured out what it is that they're actually looking for, and they're just kind of shopping. And they might go through your process in your funnel, but what are the chances of you actually getting them? I mean, unless you're super dynamic and your product is just mind-numbingly, you can't, if you don't buy this, you're stupid, there's a good chance they're going to roll. And guess what? That's where part of your 50% of your money is gone, poof. So prospects who are most likely to buy are already aware of the problem. I just said this, right? And again, remember, guys, this is me learning and talking to you guys all about the same thing at the same time while I'm still learning. So it's kind of like my practice. The reason that people don't buy. Hello. Thanks, guys, for stopping in. The reason that people buy is because that they're actually aware they have a problem and they need a solution. And they've been looking for a solution. They've been looking for something to fix their problem. You know, whatever that problem is. It could be, I farted the wrong way. How do I turn my butt so I can, and here's a swivel, use a swivel. Here's your solution. It could be that simple. Or it could be super complex, okay? Like in the case of what I do, I'm in business development, I'm in marketing and so on and so forth. My solutions aren't always so simple. Till now, I got one huge simple solution. And we'll talk about that later. I just want to show this to you. So people who are aware that they have a problem, they follow a predictable set of steps in their search for a solution, which they determine, not us. Okay, they're the one with the problem. We don't even know they have the problem necessarily, not yet anyway. So here's what they do. They research the problem to figure out, how big is this problem? I mean, is it a big deal? Is it a big enough deal that I need to go find me some solutions? The answer is yes. They move to the next stage. They start looking for their alternatives. They start looking for their solutions. They start figuring out, okay, how do I fix this? And then after that, they start evaluating everything. All right, so if I did it this way, what would happen? If I do it this way, what would happen? If I do it this way, what would happen? I like this one. And then they justify their decision. By the way, we're talking benefits and price, right? Which one's going to get me the best bang for the buck? Then they justify the decision. I like this one because of these things. And then they make that selection. Those last three are about the time that most everybody with a funnel start getting into it. And they've already missed a portion of the journey. They've missed the portion of meeting the customer where they're at. That's what we're talking about. Okay, and this process always starts online. We all know everybody's got the Google. The Google is easy to get. If I say it wrong, my hub over there will start listening, so I gotta watch how I say it. But everybody's got it. Everybody's got the Google. You type in anything you damn well please. You'll come up with a ton of different solutions. Well, some guys would say, well, you need to have SEO so you can be the first one in that page. Well, if you don't have that kind of budget, how else are you going to do it? What can you do? Who are you gonna? How are you gonna get in front of that person when they start looking around trying to figure out what is this? I have a problem. How big is this problem, dude? Is there a solution for this problem? Let's go check Google, Yahoo, Bing. I need a widget. Maybe Amazon has it. They've already gotten into that mindset, and guess what? The first person in front of them is the one who's got the best shot at keeping them. So I don't care if you're selling info products. I don't care if you're selling a widget. I don't care if you're selling food and beverage. I don't care where you're at. If you don't know what's going on in that person's journey to buy something, whatever that solution is. People don't buy people. I know everybody keeps saying people buy you because they know you, like you, trust you. They're not buying you. They're buying your solution. They're buying your solution to their problem. So you can be the nicest guy in the world, but if they don't see that then you'll get some people that will buy just because you're a nice person, or they just click with you and your personality, or they feel a connection to you, blah, blah, blah. Great. That's not going to move your profitability line, because that's a very, very small portion of the market that will do that. But if that solution is what they need, without a doubt, in their mind, and you're the one that they're always thinking about, guess what product they're going to get? Guess what service they're going to engage? You. Very simple, because you have the solution that they want, so they are going to buy it. And if you have the right solution, and you've been talking with them, and you've been educating them, and you've been building a relationship with them, which a lot of people are still missing, you are able to command a higher premium on price. What does that mean? More profit for your business, right? If you don't, and you're not the first in line, and you're in the mix with everybody else, not above it, here's where they see you. I mean, literally, this is what they see of you if you don't start talking to them first. If you start talking to them first, you're about here. At least they can see your lips moving, and they can hear you. Now, if you get them real early, you're about here. There is a way to do that, okay? The idea of being able to do what we call in-market targeting is being able to meet the person there in the marketplace, right where they're at. Think about this. In the buyer's journey, and I need to find this real quick. Give me a second. I want to find something for you guys. I told you this was going to be a long live. There's stuff that I'm still learning too. This is site visitor stuff. I'm listening to, by the way, I'm on Pandora listening to Bebop Combo. It's one of my favorite jazz stations. So if you guys want to listen along and kind of jam with it, come on. There is a place. I gotta open up a PowerPoint. I'm having to redo a whole deal. So hang in there with me. Don't bounce yet. There is a place. Where is it? It's what they call the path to purchase. Everybody knows the conversion funnel and stuff like that. I can't show this one yet because it hasn't been rebranded. I have to rebrand it to mine's. 4 levels of conversion. It's not this one. So the idea is, again, the 6 stages of, maybe it's this one. We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. It's getting there. Hey, cool. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging in. We'll be doing more like this, but the reason, again, I'm doing this is because I need practice. I'm learning to master this information. It's a new partnership that I have. You have to be an agency in order to be able to offer what they're offering. And after really digging in, this stuff is just insane what you can do with it. Being able to monitor an element of buying that no one's been able to do for a long time. Advertisements. So this is going to sound weird. I actually don't, Pandora is one of the advertising platforms. I don't actually pay for premium because I want to see what ads I get served. I'm always curious about, what geo-targeting is being used on me, what potential demographics. By the way, on Facebook, I wanted to share this with you. Did you guys know that on Facebook there's there's about 400,000 data points on each user that is used in setting up audiences and setting up things of that nature. Did you guys know this? I was wondering. If you're watching, make sure you let me know. But here's the deal. 400,000 data points for one person. How much do we get to use for paid advertisement? You know, if you use their system on Facebook, you can do all your drill downs on demographics and interests and psychographics, all that kind of stuff is what we call it. And you can do pretty well. And if you do it right, you can get a good targeted audience. You get a nice tight audience. That doesn't mean that they're all ready to buy, but you get a really good audience to start attracting them to your funnel, right? Hopefully, you're early enough in their journey. Hey, look, Hey guys, do me a favor. When you pop in over here on Instagram, throw your name in there so I can address you properly. I mean, I know we all got cool names as far as usernames, but honestly, I want to address you respectfully by your name. Drop your name in there. Love to say hello to you. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Hoping I'm going to give you guys a ton of great content, okay? So you can do a lot of great stuff with our audience targeting. There's some great guys out there that got some great playbooks. Jason Horning is a great one, by the way. He's actually offering one, I think, for free. You just pay the shipping and handling. And he talks about all kinds of great strategies and things of that nature. So if that's what you need, and you need that kind of training, make sure you get it. It's good stuff to know. It's good stuff to understand. So get back into this. So what we're able to do is we do what's called in-market targeting. The first 3 stages. They're unaware, they're just becoming aware, and they're just starting to do some research. Okay, how big is this problem? Are there any solutions? They're in that portion of the buyer's journey. And what we have is a real-time, permanent, portable, and proprietary list of the 3% in any market that's actively pursuing a purchase of what you sell. So this is our data. This is our stuff that we do, okay? We're able to do something because we have what's called an identity graph. I have access to it because I pay a licensing fee. My partners have access to other identity graphs. I want to show you guys this stuff, but I can't really get into it yet. I will, but what I will tell you that it's a machine learning data collector. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is crazy. I didn't even realize I had this slide. This I could probably show. Yeah, I'll probably show this one later. So you've got my partners, just to describe them a little bit, who they are. My partners are data gatherers. They go out, they gather data, they make sure that they're tracking stuff. So they've got their pixel, and this is one of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about today. They have their pixel spread out across the internet. Millions of websites. There's tons everywhere, okay? Why? Because they want to be able to track something that most people can't. That's behaviors. Now, I've talked about that for a long time with colleagues. You know, it's great, all this demographic and psychographic. The fact that Facebook put in interests was a great thing, because at least now you have an idea of what people may be interested in. They might be interested in your stuff too. And that did greatly affect, that did greatly affect the ability to drop the cost per click. Not necessarily the cost of acquisition, but it dropped the cost per click. In some cases, it dropped it a lot, especially with traffic drives or video views. And that was previous to video views. I knew guys that were getting like 0.00004 cents per click for a video. It was amazing, you know, and it was based on, you know, just being able to drive traffic to a video. A lot of video watchers, great stuff. How much of that converted? I don't know those numbers, but I know that they got a lot of traffic. So it was great, but there was no real behavioral data to follow. So partnership that I have now, that's what they do. They track behaviors, and that's what that identity graph is for, is to be, wow, that's a plane. I'm like under the flight path for an executive airport. Where was I? It is the ability to go ahead and track behaviors. Let's say Bob hops into a site, an Amazon or an opt-in page or something like that. This pixel is there. Picks up his email address, picks up the identity on his device, and just begins to put it away into a little secured file, because privacy is a huge thing, and the ability to start watching where Bob goes from there on, because the pixel's on other websites. Now, most people will sit there and go, yeah, but I got a cookie. I can do a cookie on a browser. Yep, and you got 4 weeks to do something with it. And if they happen to clear their cookies because they're a little, more conscious and cognizant of what goes on to their browser and their computers, it could be less than that. But after 4 weeks, that cookie's no good. You have to re-cookie that browser. And even then so, guys, if somebody pops into your website, hear me on this. When they pop into your website, if they bounce, they're gone. You have to go back to whatever platform you were using, Google, Facebook, or whatever, and you have to do a retargeting ad. Here's the biggest challenge on that. You're re-renting data. Their data. You're an outsider to that data. Let me see how I ask this. Would it be of extreme value if you actually knew who was visiting your website and using that to build a custom audience and lookalike audience? Would that be amazing? Would you be able to do more? Would you be able to get more results with less budget? Absolutely. You can totally do that. Let me read something here. There's a couple of things and again, I'm still looking at some of this. The biggest thing on advertising right now is that when somebody visits your website, you don't know who they are. And if they leave, you don't know who they are. You have to go back to the platform and rent it, right? If they opt in, then you have a custom audience. That's somebody that has expressed an interest. They're in funnel now, which is great. You can keep talking to them on other types of retargeting ads to keep them moving through the funnel, et cetera, et cetera. Whether that's email, banner ad, text ad, Facebook, Google, it doesn't matter. You have them in your funnel. You can move that data for the most part through your funnel pretty easily. But anybody that's outside that funnel that didn't opt in, that may have been interested, but they just weren't there yet, gone. You lost them. So what we're able to do, hey, Joseph, so what we're able to do is we're actually able to resolve that identity of the person that bounces. Not just the guys that come and opt in, but the guys that leave. Guys and gals, people, every site visitor. And here's what happens. You can retarget visitors that come in but leave, but only using a third-party pixel and only within their walled garden, which basically means if it's on Facebook, it's on Facebook. If it's on Google, it's on Google. That's it. That's all you get. You're not going to be able to do very much more besides that. What you get with identity resolution, which is what we can do now, you get total and permanent control. Hey, Telegram, what's up? You get total and permanent control of your first-party data. Okay, that means you can become what's called platform agnostic. You don't have to worry about putting the Facebook pixel and a Google pixel and another pixel and another, but you don't have to worry about that. It's one pixel. We call it site visitor. Okay. It allows you to run true omnichannel marketing campaigns, and it allows you to beat the problem of relying on a powerful supplier, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Bing, blah, 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 to generate your leads and your sales. Again, drives your cost per click down, lifts up your conversion rate because you already have the data, you already have the behavior, you know who this person is and what they're looking for. Make sense? We already have the platform that manages it. We have all that stuff in place. We also, on a portion of it, we have also first-party data rental, but I'm really looking more at being able to do site visitor for your business. And this is talking again about what it is that you have the possibility to get a hold of. It's placing a pixel that will gather that data. Now, because we've been tracking all that data, my partners have, we've been tracking all that data. They track about 260 million people in the US. So if US-based business, or you want to do business here in the US, we're already tracking everybody. So if somebody pops into your website for some reason and bounces, we already know. We already know who that is that visited. It's no longer lost to you, okay? You can grow your in-market audience 10 to 20 times faster than with any other method. Everything else, after I've learned all of this, everything else to me is you're trying to target a haystack, while now we're actually able to target the needle. Which would you want to do? Wouldn't it make more sense to go after the person that actually wants to buy your product when they want to buy your product? Wouldn't you want to serve them an ad at that time instead of constantly trying to serve up ads and hoping for rain? Restaurants do this too. Every once in a while, I notice certain specials come up, or certain coupons, or certain deals, or certain announcements. Even on events, guys, even on event marketing. I mean, why wouldn't you want to use something like this to be able to tell who's actually showing up and being able to watch them? So,
ooh, the clear tape always.
Clear tape's behind you.
What?
Sorry, guys, my son. You're looking for clear tape, right?
As in like the one that you do packaging and stuff with.
I don't think we have a big one anymore, son. We have that one. No. Next to it. That's not packing tape.
Right, so this will work.
But that's not packing tape. That's double-sided tape. Don't use that. Use the other one. Actually, look in the bottom drawer on the thing.
Which one?
No, not mine. The other one. The one that has the, yeah, down in the bottom over there, or just check all the drawers in that. Hi, Nikita. Thanks for stopping in. And already gone. This is interesting watching all these lives go on. So check it. By the way, if you're stopping in over here on Facebook, do me a favor. Hashtag Java Chat. If you're watching the main, if you're watching the replay, hashtag OMGM. Okay. In fact, I'll throw in the hashtags now. Cool. Anyway, so here's the deal. The idea of being able to create some really cool audiences using first-party data. Right now, what you get if you rent data from somebody else, it's third-party already. You're already that far out. So you're having to rent that data. You're not able to own it. With something like this, you're actually owning it because, again, it's already being tracked out online. There's a little secured file that gets created for each email address. And then it gets, every time they use another one, because it's resolved to an IP address or an email address, it builds the file over time. Average 2.5 devices, average 2 or 3 emails per person. And when people go hunting and researching, and then they actually buy something, buying is where they usually use their most used email. Andrea, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And the idea of this is very simple. You will have access to that data. You will have access to the behaviors of the person that could want what you're offering, your service, your product. Okay? You have the ability. Let me see if I can read this right. Jeez, I'm not gonna read all of that. Audiences can be used as highly relevant in-market seed audiences to exponentially expand your reach. This is for the lookalike audience deal, okay? By uploading your SVM audience to the platform, asking for a lookalike, the platform will use your first-party data to create a larger audience of their users who match the behaviors. You can't get behaviors on rental from any of these platforms. It just doesn't happen. How do you think they make their money? How do you think Google and Facebook make their money on the clicks? Is they know the behaviors of their users. They know who's hanging out. They know what they're doing. They know where they're shopping, where they're researching. That's how they make so much money. You can have access to that now and take that back to them and say, here, I want you to go look for Bob. who was actually looking for, in this case, he's actually looking for a refinance loan. And he's looking for this kind of interest rate. He's got this kind of credit score, and he's already put all this information in over here. You'll now have that to give over to Facebook and go, this is what I'm looking for. Go create me a lookalike audience. How much more powerful would that be for your business? Probably be pretty damn heavy, huh? Retargeting, it's siloed. It's out of your control. Or it's both. Platforms capture your site's data and then rent it back to you. If that's not the greatest shocker, I don't know what is. Wait, you're telling me I put your pixel on my website and you get the data? What? Wait a minute. So I get a couple of opt-ins. That's cool. But you're telling me that anybody that pops into my website, you get to have that data? And if I want to retarget it, I got to pay you for that? After I just did all that work? I paid you so that I can pay you again. Does anybody see an issue with this? But they're the supplier. They get to make the rules. He with the gold makes the rules. They got the gold until now. So there's some possibilities there. So let me read the rest of that. So they're saying you can retarget any audience when, where, and how you please across any channel on any platform. I'm going to show you. I don't know if I can hide. Can I share screen here? I cannot share my screen here. That blows. All right, cool. So I have actually a PowerPoint that shows. I'm going to read them off to you. Here's the ones that are known, that you guys probably have heard of, okay? Everybody knows about Twitter. Everybody knows about Google, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. They all got advertising. LinkedIn has advertising. Pandora has advertising. So Pandora falls under a new category. Pandora's kind of a streaming service, not necessarily a social media platform, although everybody associated them with that at first. Same thing with Spotify. Same thing with, who's the other one? Not SoundCloud. There's one more. Anchor. Anchor does advertising too now. Anchor.fm, the podcast platform. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do that's internal, but there's also a bunch of other ones like email marketing. Everybody knows about that one. And some people forget you can do. Hey, Rona. Some people forget. There's banner ads in emails. You as a marketer can sell sponsorships to somebody else if you wanted to. And then there's the syndicated version, right? That's just a code that you throw into an email. But what about display ads? Banner ads? Those still exist. And guys, they're still cheap. They're super cheap. Why wouldn't you want to use that to begin your journey into getting people into your funnel so you can get them into a list that you can talk to them? You want to build a list. That's still quite valid. Then there's the other two that there's mobile advertising. If you don't know about the mobile networks, that's also advertising. There's two more that people don't think about, and they forget about it because they think they're no longer around. I can tell you they are. Professor, how you doing? I can tell you right now they're still around, and that's direct mail and telephone marketing. And that includes text marketing. Those two are very highly specialized deals. Why? Because you're supposed to be able to target somebody on their phone, where they're at, have them pick up their phone and talk to them. Now, there was a whole huge thing just recently. I don't know if you guys saw it in the news. There's a bunch of robocallers that got nailed with about $208 billion worth of fines for breaking the FCC rule of when to call, who to call, who not to call. They didn't scrub their DNC with their phone list with the DNC list. Unfortunately, they haven't collected hardly any of it yet, but they've already handed out the citations. Guys, there's still low-hanging fruit in that. There's still ways to get people on that one. And they do, I know because I've heard it, conversations, they ask for your email address and permission to go ahead and send you emails. Then you never hear from them again on phone. Or in the email, we might call you. Is that cool? That's another way of marketing. Direct mail still works. It's a spray and pray proposition, but it still works. conversion rates are still about 1.5%, 1.5%, 2%. If you're really good, 2.5%, 2.25%. But what if you were able to do it like when somebody's actually looking for what it is that you do? Like, what if somebody was actually looking to sell their house and all of a sudden a postcard showed up at their house, only their house, looking to get a valuation for your home? I can help. Give me a call today. Geez, we were just on a website taking a look at that 2 days ago, 3 days ago. What a coincidence. Would that be powerful for your business? I don't care whether it's CBD oil or mortgages or annuities. It doesn't matter. If you time your message to arrive when somebody's actually looking for something, and you've been talking to them already, you've already started your conversation outside the funnel, educating them, building a relationship with them, staying in the top of mind, and something like that shows up in a direct mail piece, how powerful would that be? Everybody at least takes a look at it. I mean, very rarely do I see people not at least taking a look at what the mail piece is before they throw it away. It's during the time that they're scrolling through, like flipping through it, that they're deciding keep, throw, keep, toss, keep, trash. They see one that has the message of, I can help you right now. And in their mind, they're like, I know who that is. I was just on their website. What a coincidence. Let me give them a call. The chances of you getting that to convert are huge. Same story with email, same story with an ad, a video ad, a text ad, a banner ad served up when they're ready to buy. Here's the difference that no one else is teaching. No one else is sharing because they can't do it. Here's the advantage I can get for you. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with this. I'm not going to go through all of that. I'll do that on the webinar. But here's the thing, guys. And I've been on for, oh, wow, only 40 minutes. Cool. By the way, if you got any questions, please feel free. Write them in. Throw them in the comments. I'll answer there. Or right here, send me a DM. I'll be happy to set up a time to chat with you. No pitching. Just want to talk to you guys about what it is that you're doing, make some relevant suggestions, because I'm fairly sure most people don't have the normal stuff down yet. And I want to make sure that you do. Because if you pick up what I got and you don't know how to use it because you're not familiar with how to use it, that'd be kind of junk. I don't want to do that to you. Yeah. My intent here is to give you education and help you guys understand what it is that's possible. But here's the deal. We have a smart pixel. That smart pixel is able to pick up that information, resolve an identity so that you know who it is that's making the visit to your website. And then it's going to tell you about the behaviors that this person is going through. In other words, where they're at in the buyer's journey. So that when you upload a certain ad, you can put that person has an audience of the same kind of person. Okay? Picture an audience about, like here, about 50 people in that. Okay? You have no idea who's actually ready to buy in that 50. You have to advertise to all 50 of them. Let's say there's only 10% of them, 5 of them that are ready to buy. They're not all in one little cluster over here on the side. They're all scattered because they're at that point in the buyer's journey. The rest of them are either unaware, just beginning to realize it. Maybe they're in another funnel. Guys, if they're in another funnel, how are you going to get them out? Timing, messaging, relationship building matters. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people that teach Facebook and stuff for ads that will agree with that. Timing matters, message matters, brand matters. That big one, when they're ready to buy, timing. Bringing that ad forward at that moment, that matters. That'll get you that person. So on that big picture of 50, I can target the 5. Why? Because this smart pixel will actually tell you who those 5 are, where they're at in their buyer's journey, and when they're ready to actually receive your message. And here's the thing. This is real early, guys. Hardly anybody's doing this yet. The only ones that really have access to this kind of stuff are the big companies, the enterprise versions. the General Motors, it's the Nestle's, the Mutual of Omaha's, and even they're not using it that well. So they don't know how. We do. We help you with all of that stuff. We do it in two ways. One, we can do a full-blown lead generation funnel. Oh, here comes the offer. And I'm not pricing this because it's just, well, no, I'll price it because I can. I mean, I know what it's worth. If it's something that you're really interested in, feel free to reach out. A full service funnel. You need to have some revenue going already. Okay. Hello, 88, Carla. I'm assuming your name is Carla. I hope it is. If it's not, please put your name in there so I can address you properly. Here's the deal. We can do a full lead service gen deal. If you're in mortgage or real estate, definitely reach out. We have a full funnel. We do all the ads. We do all the campaign design. Thank you, Carla. Appreciate it. We do the full design. We do the full run. We take care of the budgeting. We take care of the targeting. We take care of installing the pixel. We take care of the data. We make sure that you get a copy of that data because you need to have that for other campaigns that you're going to probably run internally, which is fine. You're buying the data. That's what it's for. That's what the pixel's for. So you want to do that, okay? And you're going to want to make sure, and basically the follow-up. We also have a platform for follow-ups where it'll do a voicemail, text message. It'll do email follow-ups. And the moment somebody responds in the positive that they're ready to talk, it gets transferred over to your CRM, whatever it is that you're using. We use Zapier for that, so it's easier. It's just real quick transfer. Should be anyway. We can do that. That's the full-blown deal. And that's usually, that whole system usually ends up being about $59.97. So $5,997. Right now, I'm doing it at about $1,000 off of that, $49.97. Okay, so if it's something that you're looking for the full-blown deal, where we do everything, I mean, front to back, and that includes the ad budget. You don't have to put in an extra budget for ads. We got that, okay? We'll probably increase the budget for ads as we go along. The effectiveness, each industry has a different benchmark, okay? Benchmark means what it actually costs per lead, what the conversion rates are, et cetera, et cetera. On average, I've heard 4% for mortgage, about the same for real estate. We're doing between 5 to 15%. That's a big range. But it's just because of the regions are all different. Everybody's different, yeah? Cost per acquisition is anywhere between 75 to 350 for us. Depends on the loan. If you're looking at, what's the other one? Cost per lead, most guys are paying between $40, $50, $60. We're getting them between 15 and 30. So we can do all of this for you. We can do all of that, no problem. If you are savvy in doing your own ads and want the ability to have your data be portable and not have to keep going back and renting the very data that you're generating for those platforms with their pixels, if you want to create your own first data, your own database where you know who it is that you're talking to, and you tell them to go find Bob and Gina who happen to be ready to buy a home or get a loan or buy a widget, whatever it is that you do, then you just pick up the pixel. And I'm doing this on a very limited basis. The pixel usually rents for about $5.99 a month. And the reason is very simple. The kind of data that you're getting access to is worth way, way more. One person's behaviors and the lifetime return that you can get on that customer. If you're a business owner and you're not thinking about lifetime value of a customer, you're not doing your business right. You're thinking of one-offs and you're constantly hunting for the next sale. That's worthless to you as a business owner. It will not serve you. You need to be thinking of how many times and how many dollars will that particular customer spend with me over the lifetime of our relationship. And you need to know what that lifetime relationship timeline looks like. How many years is that? If you're a pizza place, do you want them coming back to you every week? Every month, every other month, every day? What? And what's the potential of them buying that pizza? Which pizza? How much does it cost you to make that pizza? You understand what I'm saying? You have to think about the long term on these things. So $5.99 for something like this would normally be nothing. I know that there are companies out there that have multiples of this particular pixel. They're paying 7 figures a year. 7 figures a year. To be able to track and create their own first database where they know who's in it, okay? Identity revolutions. Flaps real estate. You're going to want to come back and watch this either here or on Facebook, because I'm talking about how to generate actual sellers, buyers, when they're ready to buy and sell, not just normal targeting. It's different. This is anyway. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a different. I'm not doing $5.99. I'm dropping it a couple $100 to about $3.99 a month. Okay. If you've got a business that's already producing and you're doing active advertising online, on Facebook or on Google, what kind of coffee are we drinking? Oh, are you kidding me? Cold. I should put some ice in it now. Jeez, I've been talking so long. They're a Colombian bean. Not super high quality. I just wanted to make some quick drips, so I did. I will probably go up to my buddy's place later to go get some like really good like Ethiopian bean coffee. I happen to like the kind of earthy tones that they have, and they got actually one of theirs has a bit of a floral tone in it too. It's really good. Fleps, if you're a coffee snob, I love you, man. Hang out. So again, that offer is very simple. The Pixel, you install it on your website. We pull the data of all the traffic that comes off your website and send it to you directly. You then have what's called a hash file. And then we resolve that hash file, because it's a secured file, to find the email addresses. We do have a service that can actually append, camera, that can actually append name, phone number, email, physical address. That's new. Okay. All this from this one little pixel. We can do all of that now. What this really does for you is it gives you the power to go back to Facebook, to a Google, and say, you need to use our pixels okay with regards to GDPR regulations. Okay, so this particular pixel is really meant for the US. That's where most of our tracking is. I do not know. I will find out. Shoot me a DM and I will ask that question. I'm fairly sure that it's a pixel that's really more meant for here, although it'll pick up data from anywhere. And in which case, it's a cookie anyway. This pixel will put a cookie on somebody's browser, so it should be GDPR compliant. Let me find that out though before I say yes. Okay, I know it's compliant here in the States. It's completely spam compliant. It's completely compliant with all privacy laws and stuff like that. So here we're good. I'll find out for you, but shoot me a DM and ask. Okay, otherwise I'll forget. Seriously, because right after this I'm off to another meeting. And thanks for asking. The ability to go ahead and resolve that data and get that identity and be able to tell Facebook or Google, this is who I want you to target. So that's my custom audience. And this is who I'd like you to go find that looks like. Hey, Luna, how are you? Happy Saturday, love. I want you to find more people just like this, because these are the people that are ready to buy right now. And here's the ad that I want to go with it. The ability to target people's behaviors and be able to actually bring them in at the time that they're ready to buy, or if they're looking for research and you want to give them a video ad so that they can go ahead and learn something. I mean, education and building that relationship is very important. You can do that with this. The data that you will have, you'll know who to put in. You'll know which ones need to go to what ad. And they're forced to go out and find you those kinds of people. So now you're not talking about this huge audience of 50 that you're targeting. You're not talking about the five that are ready to go, and telling Facebook and Google, go find more just like the 5. So now you're building up like real, true behavioral lookalikes to that little 5 and expanding that out to the 50. Now you've got 50 people that are really ready. Appreciate it, Marona. Seriously, appreciate it. Make sure you send me that DM, because if it's worth it, I'm happy to share it with you. I just got to find out for sure. The power of being able to target people when they're ready to buy with the right kind of ad means you're not spending dollars needlessly to try to figure stuff out. You are spending that dollar at the right moment so that the right person sees it, that they consume it, and your conversion rate goes up and your cost of acquisition goes down, because you're not having to putz around with this person anymore as a lead or a contact. It's a real lead. It's a real potential customer. You have the ability to now really talk them through to a sale with your funnel. Now they're in funnel. Okay, we're talking about getting them in market. We're talking about getting them outside the funnel and building your brand in their head, having the conversation, educating them, and then getting them when they're ready to go. Does that make sense? I don't know anybody else is doing this. And I literally scroll through all the ads on Facebook. I look at the ads on Google. First thing I do a Google search, I look at the sponsored listings for the SEO, which are basically, you know, guys that have paid to have their websites put up there on the top. I literally watch that. I want to see who's in line first for certain search terms. For shits and giggles, I'll go into the keyword tool and go see what kind of keywords might have shown up and see what other things, you know, who's got what competition. Facebook, I'll scroll through and just look for ads. And I see everybody talking about doing Facebook ads, which is awesome. It's powerful. You do the right targeting, it can get you some great results. What I'm saying is they're still renting. When somebody tells me retarget, I tell them, oh, you're renting data that you created for Facebook. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, well, you're retargeting. If you're retargeting, it means you put their pixel on your website, right? Yeah. So you just gave them data that's supposed to be yours. You paid them to advertise and get people to your site so they could take the data, keep it for themselves, and rent it back to you to go send another ad out to somebody. Does that make sense? Economically, does that make sense to anybody? Doesn't make sense to me. Why would I do that? Well, because you have to. What I'm saying is you can now make it more effective by using this smart pixel. Honestly, any business that doesn't have this smart pixel is losing out, is missing out hugely. You want a shot at it, you want more details on it, reach out. I'm going to put together another webinar on this, and it'll probably take me a good solid hour like this one to get through it. And I did it here with you guys, and I did it here with you guys because you are my followers. I love you guys. Thank you for following. I love you guys. Thank you for liking the business page. And if you're seeing this and you think it's worth something, and you think it's worth anybody, kick it out to your friends, tag them or something. If you're here on Facebook, make sure you tag a friend. If you think this kind of information is worth it, if they've got a business that they really want to expand and they want to explode, and they want to do it the right way, have them watch this. All right. It's the end of my time. It's been an hour. I'm going to roll. I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank all of you for stopping in and taking a look. I love every one of you. Take good care. Ron, I'll be looking for that DM. And have an awesome weekend, you guys. I mean, it's beautiful outside. Take care. Ciao for now.